who brought you RuPaul's Drag Race and $1 Million Listing. This is World of Wonders Wow Report. Things that make us go wow.
Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to the Wow Report. We are coming to you from the headquarters of World of Wonder, located on Hollywood Boulevard in Hollywood, California. And we're almost live. We're live-ish, I like to say.
Kind of live.
I am Tom Campbell, Chief Creative Officer at World of Wonder. Our fearless leader, Fenton Bailey, is away in the UK, I believe, this week, doing business, making money.
When is he ever around?
He gets around.
He does. He gallivants all over the country.
I'm so excited
the globe.
because you've already heard the beautiful dulcet tones. I'm here with club kid turned best-selling author, James St. James.
Oh, my God, James St. James. Woo!
We got into a terrible fight last week on air, and according to listener feedback, you won, which is fantastic. Joining us, taking Fenton's seat, is a Drag Race legend. Is that the wrong thing to say? From season 2?
I prefer icon, but you can say legend.
Icon.
Legendary legend.
Legendary icon. Nicole Paige Brooks from season 2
Good morning,
of RuPaul's
good
Drag Race.
afternoon, good night, whatever it is, wherever you are. Boys, girls, and everybody in between, however y'all identify.
It is a little early this morning, and you did...
I mean, I did good. I was here before y'all were, I think.
You were indeed.
I was in the lobby all alone, in the cold, cold lobby by myself.
With your thoughts. I hope that you come on. So just what we do here, so you know, because I know you didn't sign your contract yet, so we really need you to help here.
No.
We are counting down the top 10 things that made us go,
wow!
This week. And you, Nicole Paige Brooks from Atlanta, Georgia, or as I like to call you, NPBFAG.
Do you know what that stands for?
No.
I didn't either. The kids on Reddit, it's Nicole Paige Brooks from Atlanta, Georgia.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was like, why they call me a fag? I don't understand. What did I do to these Reddit children for them to be like, this fag, Nicole? I'm like, I thought they liked me. And then it turned out to be
Just an
Georgia. Aren't they so clever?
Yes, stay clever. So you are our number 10.
Number 10.
Nicole, what brings Theron booked you? We're so happy you're here. You've never seen or heard our show, is that correct?
I know, I watch it all the time. It comes on twice a week, right?
Okay, you're lying. I think this is a great experiment. I think we can get some fresh eyes afterwards. You can give us a full critique.
Okay, yeah.
What are you doing in Los Angeles and not in Atlanta, Georgia?
I came out to film Hey Queen and do some things with World of Wonder, and then I just hit a few of the girls, and they were like, oh, come work. So now I end up doing drag like twice a day for the past 10 days.
Right.
Yeah.
It feels like a vacation until you get here.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty good.
Are you doing Mickey's and...
I did Mickey's on Monday, and then Food Bar after that, and then I did...
Big Fat Dick?
BFD.
Is that the FUBAR thing?
That's on Thursday.
No, that was. I think it was Make Out Mondays or something like that.
Right, sure, okay.
Well,
Yeah,
I made
love
out
the
with
titles.
some people anyway, but I hope it was Make Out Mondays because I did it.
Are you having fun?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And who are you staying with?
Cameron Nico. Do you know Cameron Nico?
Oh, no.
I think you do.
Do I?
Hollywood Custom Wigs.
Oh, yeah. Okay,
There
of
you
course.
go.
Oh, did you get
Wonderful.
some wigs out of the
And he
gig? Do you get to play
sings
with wigs every night when you go home?
Well, there's boxes that he doesn't let me go into, but we're working on them. I'm here for a few more days.
Are you doing drag? How often are you doing drag back home? Is this
About twice a week.
okay?
Twice a week, and then traveling, and then doing some things with TV and film out there.
And
Now, so tell me, do you have any feelings, any strong feelings about this year's All-Star winners? Can we get there? Can we do that?
we can do that a little bit. Why not?
I mean,
Go ahead. No, do it.
No, I thought Trinity should have won if you know.
For those of you who don't follow Drag Race, All Stars finale was last week, and Monet Exchange and Trinity the Tuck tied and won, first time in Drag Race history. And
But they both got $100,000, so who really cares?
Exactly. And I just have to say, if you're looking at track records, there is a school of belief, of fairness, that Trinity was one ahead going into the final episode, and many, many people, including RuPaul herself, thought that Monet Exchange, not to put words in Ru's mouth, but may have won the final episode, thus making it
a
legitimate tie.
But it is
Okay.
true. You know, if there's enough money to go around and
I
there's
haven't
enough
seen the
love to go
episode,
around,
so-
then why not spread the love around? And I think it's fabulous. And I loved all the girls this season. I really thought it was a really fun season.
Yeah, and we're going to talk more about them a little bit later in the drag race and
I
the
just
phenomenon.
I got to say, I'm just putting in my 2 cents because I'm not allowed to talk about the girls during the
Correct.
season because I'll be fired. But I just want to say that Naomi, it has been such a joy watching her grow over the last year. And just the way her outfits and everything is just so on point. She's so gorgeous, and she's funny and she's smart. And I'm glad that she was a part of it.
And there was a huge fan base behind Monique Hart. It was a no-win, no-lose kind of situation because all the top 4 were amazing, and I mean that. I mean, I was in the bar, and everybody. It was like a split 4 ways. Anyway, that's number 10. Nicole Paige Brooks, you're here.
Yeah, I'm a 10. I'm actually the number 10 queen to ever walk into the showroom too.
See,
really, it's synergy.
Ting.
Oh my God.
10s across the board. I just need one more 10 somewhere.
Well, we're moving on.
Give me $10 and I'll be set.
Well, wait a minute. Before we move on, though, just for the YouTube, but we can edit this out for the radio show. But tell me a little bit about your season and how Drag Race has changed, how you see it, how it's changed since season 2.
And the show itself?
Yeah.
Well, we were getting. Our prize was $20,000. Now she gives that away every time she sneezes. I'm like, shoot, you get a $20,000, $10,000 for you, $10,000 for you, $10,000 for you.
But the fact is that.
But are they really dollars? Because she just always does say dollars.
I know.
Are dollars,
doll hairs
are
is
dollars
what it
something
is.
else?
You've broken the code. It's not real money.
It's not real money. They get
No,
like
it
a
is,
stack
it
of
is.
dollars at the end.
That's
you
sort
get
of a Joan
10,000
Collins
dollars.
affectation from
that's
Dynasty.
funny.
Like, give me $10,000.
It would be hilarious at the end of the show, though. She gives them like Monopoly money. That's what a dollar is.
Well, my
10,000
sister always used to say, "I'll give you 10 doll hairs," and then she'd like take the doll hairs off of her doll and give those to me, doll hairs.
That's
That
terrible.
explains so much about the damage done to
But really, with season 2, like I feel like you guys were all still sort of like struggling
Figuring
to figure
out
out what the
what we were
show
doing,
was, right? And I mean, it's,
Well,
I
my
have a
intention
different
was
feel.
after seeing season 1 was to. I liked all of this behind that house, behind the, what all of it, everything that goes into it. They showed them making costumes. We had to like make a lot of our own stuff right there on set.
Yep.
And then, but now they get like this list, and they can have anybody design it before they even get there. And
that is
it's
true,
much more.
yes.
They have a lot more insight than we did. We kind of like, okay, you're gonna bring something country, bring something animal. They just gave us like a really vague, and now I feel like it's a lot more.
specific.
People are putting.
But there are still, All Stars especially, they have a lot of money, they bring stuff. But the regular season, they still, we do give them a list, you're right. And we try to be as specific to give for fairness. But, but there are still those fabulous make something from nothing kind of challenges, which, because, a lot of drag queens don't sew. We've learned that.
But
The sponge dress.
They're still far in between, I think.
The girls who can't sew.
Well, yeah.
I do
They're
think
not
that
really
it's-
making costumes anymore.
Right.
I don't think. Well, I don't know. We'll see in season 11.
You will see. You will see more to come. We are now officially
Which
moving
they
on.
have really great costumers in season 1 too. So
Yeah.
yeah.
All right. We are officially now moving on to number 9.
Number 9.
We're a fun show. Don't get scared. But there's a lot of Democrats running for president.
Too many?
And we've only just begun. My brother, who's a very smart man from New Hampshire, which is the primary state, he believes that if you just let everybody run and let the system weed them out. Like, that's what we do. Because there was some thought, no, but last year or last election, there was some controversy that there was Bernie was blocked a little bit, that people weren't, that there was some collusion or something behind the scenes. And he's, let the people pick.
But hold on, but to that point, on the other side of the equation, when there was 23 people running for the Republican, that's how we ended up with Donald Trump. And if there's a clear front runner every time, then we know that. But when it's just a big clusterfuck and everybody is just a free for all, then you end up eliminating some people who might not be eliminated, who shouldn't be eliminated, and you end up getting these people that you shouldn't have. And I think that we went into it with a clear knowledge that Hillary was going to be the front runner, and that was good, I think, in the long run. And this time, if it's Joe Biden or Kamala Harris or anybody but Bernie, but that's just me. I think that I do think that if you have too many people, that it ends up.
All right, I just want to call out the names of the current Democratic nominees who've thrown their hat in the ring, and just get sort of like a word association. Give me like 3 words. Cory Booker.
Never heard of him.
Like
Sexy.
kind of problematic with that pharmaceutical vote that he made a few years ago.
All right.
Vegetarian.
Vegetarian. Nice. Blake is here.
But cute. Cute. I'd do him.
Okay.
That's all that matters, right?
We're a very heavy news show here, so feel free to be as shallow
Peter's
as possible.
our gay one from South Bend, right?
And then Mayor Pete
Say his last name.
Buddha Judge.
I don't know. Just
I heard
Judge.
I heard
it
him
says
last.
Bud in it.
Yeah, I heard him last night on NPR, and I really like him.
He's cute, isn't he?
We have talked about it before.
Do y'all
in the
just
Wow
like him
Report.
because he's gay?
No.
No, yeah, well, yes, but he's
If
gay.
he wasn't
and
gay,
he's
if he
cute.
wasn't gay, you wouldn't be like all about
That
it.
is a good reason.
He's okay,
But
he ain't no tan.
I
bitch.
listened to him last night, and there were a lot of like people were like, he's a hometown guy. You know, like I think he might be able to.
I do like some of his policies and everything.
He's
and
the mayor of South Bend, Indiana.
Yeah.
We've talked about him before. He
came
says
out
it's
while
true.
he was running. I mean, came out while he was running for mayor.
Right.
and-
Yes, and he's an Army veteran. He is married. He's a gay married man running for president. That alone, just that headline, is revolutionary.
I mean, wouldn't it be nice to have a gay president?
yeah,
Yeah.
why not?
We probably already have, actually.
Well, wasn't it James Garfield?
Well,
I don't know. I have no
James
idea.
Garfield. It's so hot. James Garfield. I saw him on Grindr once.
He likes
so
lasagna.
Pete is hot. Pete says, I have more experience than Donald Trump did when he ran for president, and it's true. The mayor of South Bend, Indiana.
true.
Okay, how
I
about
used to live in South
Julian
Bend, Indiana.
Castro?
It's terrible.
Julian Castro.
Oh, I don't know about.
He's one of the twins. He's the U.S. Secretary of Housing and Urban Development under Obama.
I
He's
know
the
Are
that.
mayor
there
of San
two of them
Antonio.
running or just one?
Just one.
Yeah,
But he can always stand in for him, this twin brother.
But he
Right.
he looks creepy to me. No.
Okay, based on looks, creepy, good. Then we have John Delaney. He's the U.S. representative from Maryland, and
He
he's
looks way too happy.
55.
No old people. No more old
Okay,
people.
slash. Then this is a name I don't know.
she's
Tulsi
lovely, though.
Gabbard.
Oh, she's been a little controversial. She's had some things to say that have not gone well.
She's
pretty,
a
though. She's
U.S.
got great
representative. She's 37. She shares my birthday, April 12th. If anyone's
She's
Oh,
young,
she's got-
37.
Yeah.
and Mayor Pete is 37 as well. So
Oh,
that's,
wow.
I mean,
I
this
like
might
that.
be him getting himself a national profile so he can run again.
Yeah.
Again, it's all thing. And then of course there's Kirsten
Gillibrand.
37 is the
Gillibrand.
youngest you can be, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's 52. She is a U.S. Senator from New York. She threw her hat in the ring first, I think. And
I like her.
she's okay.
Okay.
I'm have a terrible sexist thing to say. Her hair is so thin that you can see through it. I don't think that's going to be good for her.
Oh no.
Which brings us to the much better haired Kamala Harris.
Jeez, I
Oh, no,
like
yeah,
me
no.
some Kamala
I
Harris.
Yeah,
know.
she's sassy, right?
Yes. I also love that she
We're liking her.
is gorgeous.
Yeah.
But underplays it. Like her hair's a little mussy. Her suits are a little. I'm waiting for her like Anne Hathaway moment where she transforms for the inaugural ball or
She
something.
looks
It's
like she keeps the rubber
Kamala, you're
band on.
beautiful.
I do worry that she has that Hillary thing where people say, I'll vote for a woman, just not her. Like that she's sort of a little grating, but I like that about her. I like that she's firm and
She's a prosecutor. She knows how to
Yes.
state herself.
Yes.
She comes through. I saw her, I think, on The View, and I just thought she's so crystal clear in her
Yes.
communication and kind of down home. Running out of time, but I just want to say hello to Amy
Klobuchar.
Thank you, Klobuchar, who is the U.S. Senator from Minnesota who gave that amazing announcement in the snow.
And then Donald Trump made fun of her for standing in the snow.
And then she said, I bet you my hair held up better than yours would. Oh,
Because remember, he wouldn't go in the rain because of his hair. Yeah.
So she's actually very. I did not. There was a town hall or something in CNN, and people online were saying that she was amazing. So I need to know more about Amy. Bernie threw his hat in the ring this week. It's controversial. He made a lot of money, like $3 million.
He made $6 million.
I can't keep track.
This morning.
And
what?
he
Just in donations.
fundraising. You know,
People, and they just donated like $5 and $10.
I think the concern with him
I mean,
is that if
how
he
old
does,
is he?
he's
That's just
77.
He's never gonna make it.
He'll be 79 when he gets voted in.
But
so
the
That's too-
concern
that's
with
too
him
much,
is if he
girl.
doesn't make it all the way, what happened with the Hillary thing is he doesn't sort of let his followers go and follow the candidate.
and his followers are sort of vitriolic and
Bernie or bust people who
Yeah.
are a lot of people saying are one of the reasons.
and he
that
divides
He's too
divides the,
old.
the group.
And then of course
I
there
don't want
is
no 80-year-old president wobbling around the.
Elizabeth Warren from U.S.
So
from
then
the
he
Senate.
like 84 when he gets done.
Yeah,
Or
88.
88.
Gosh.
Go sit down, girl.
Yeah.
Do you think how old do you think Elizabeth Warren is?
I don't
know.
care.
69.
69. Okay. I like Elizabeth Warren. I do. I think that she can never overcome the Pocahontas thing. I think it's sad, but it's true.
All right, we'll see. Now, the only thing I will say is that there's also talk about creating a fund for the winner. The idea that no matter who the Democratic candidate is, at the end, that we all come together, that we start fundraising for that now.
Love it.
Good idea, right?
Well, wait, didn't Elizabeth Warren challenge everybody not to take this PAC money, the super PAC money?
You're asking me a political question, and I'm talking about the thickness of their hair, so I can't really answer that for you.
I don't know what y'all are talking about at all. I'm completely
You are in the
lost.
majority here, so let's move on then to number 8.
Number 8.
Number 8, rest in power, Lee Radziwill.
We lost some amazing people this week.
We did. Lee Radziwill, in case you don't pay attention to the show, because I talk about her all the damn time.
True.
She is impossibly chic, best-dressed Hall of Fame socialite, New York, who's been around since the dawn of creation. She was the sister of Jackie Kennedy, Jackie O. She was sort of a lookalike of Jackie. It's weird because I had just been talking about her last week. If you remember, we talked about this documentary that summer that she had funded about her niece and aunt, Big and Little Edie Beale from Grey Gardens. Mm-hmm. And I had just been saying how it really softened my image of her, and I really liked her. And I think that maybe I had something to do with her death. I think that maybe psychically I knew that she was going to die, and that's why I was talking about her, because I was talking about her to other friends. All week long I was talking about her. Or I'm thinking that maybe she listened to the show.
Yes.
And she heard me say that how much I liked her, and she thought, my work here is done.
That's it.
And then
It's time. I can let go. I can let go. I can go toward the light. James St. James
has given me the blessing
permission
to go. Yeah. So I was.
You pompous. I'm just teasing.
But
you love her.
I do love her.
Her whole life.
There are some.
She produced the Grey Gardens?
She was her aunts, and she brought the Maisley brothers to meet them, and that's how the
and there's a documentary out now that precedes Grey Gardens that just came out that James talked about last week.
On Hulu.
Oh, nice.
There's a bunch of stories about Lee, and I just wanted to tell one real quick because she was known as very brittle and sort of a bit of a bitch and a bit of a snob. And there's a story that her last husband was Herbert Ross, who directed Steel Magnolia.
Yeah.
And Steel Magnolias. And at the premiere in London, she went with everybody. And Julia Roberts, who was still just a young star at the time and wasn't really a big star. You know where I'm going with this?
Keep going.
Julia Roberts was supposed to be seated next to Prince Charles. And instead, Lee swooped in, sat next to Prince Charles, and was like, blah, 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 like being just, oh, Charlie. And Julia came up and was like, you're sitting in my seat. And Lee refused to move. She refused, even though Julia's name was on the back of the seat. Lee sat there and would not give up her place next to Prince Charles. And Julia, being a young starlet, not knowing what to do, just broke into tears and was just sobbing in front of Prince Charles. And nobody knew what to do. But Lee just sat there with her arms folded and would not leave. So that's sort of a little bit about Lee.
Little interesting tidbit.
A little tidbit, but
Yes.
it makes me sad because we live in the time of these legends, and there will never be anybody like Jackie O or Lee Radziwill again.
And they're both spectacular, beautiful women, but Lee Radziwill often is not as prominent. When you go and Google search her and look at her looks throughout the years up until today, gorgeous.
Yeah.
Maybe a more classic beauty than even Jacqueline Kennedy, who was so gorgeous and unique, but Lee, I don't know, she had Jackie.
Yeah, she was
Jackie.
chicer. She was a little more fashionable than Jackie. Jackie had her own look, but Lee always lived in Jackie's shadows, and I think that's why she was a snob, or she was a little bitter sometimes, because I think it would be hard to have Jackie O as your sister when you're trying to be out there doing your own thing. And she married Prince Stanislav Radziwill. She married Michael Canfield. She married very well, and she did very well for herself, but she never got the credit that Jackie got.
All right. Lee Radziwill passed away Friday, February 15th in Manhattan at the age of 85.
God bless.
Yes. All right. We're ready to take a little break. Before we do, Blake,
I've got a trivia question.
do you have a little trivia question?
I
Keep
do.
our viewers glued. Now, don't listen, but don't answer, okay?
Oh, y'all think I'm going to know the answer?
No.
Y'all are so sweet. I don't even know where I'm at. It's too early.
I do want to tell everyone about our new show, Ministry of Evil, the Twisted Cult of Tony Alamo. It premieres next Wednesday, February 27th at 11 p.m. on the Sundance Channel.
That's right.
Well, that's exciting.
It's an amazing cult. It's one of these cult kind of podcasty kind of amazing stories that you can't believe you don't know about. Really
I don't know anything about it.
You will know more.
Okay.
Okay, here's a trivia question. Who was Lee Radzivill's classmate at Sarah Lawrence?
The answer to that question and more, stay tuned. We'll be back. You'll listen to the Wow Report on Radio Andy SiriusXM.
You're listening to World of Wonders Wow Report.
We're back.
Yay,
It's the Wow Report, where we are counting down the top 10 things that make us go, wow. I'm Tom Campbell, here with James St. James. Blake is here behind the camera. Hi, Blake.
Hi.
And we are here with Nicole Paige Brooks from Atlanta, Georgia.
From Atlanta, Georgia.
From season 2 of RuPaul's Drag Race.
And Cops seasons 7, 8, and 9.
Maybe we'll get into that later. We before the break, we had a trivia question. And Blake, could you repeat the question? And we'll try to come up with the answer.
Yeah, it's who was Lee Radzivill's classmate at Sarah Lawrence? Now, you have to think it's a woman, and she's 85.
I'm going to go with Bianca Del Rio.
Bianca Del Rio for the win.
No, actually, hold on. I do want to say that. I'm wondering if maybe it's Martha Stewart.
I don't think Martha's that old. I thought
80.
That too.
Okay.
But close. I like that.
Not Madonna. Marilyn
Monroe. Okay.
No, she was poor.
Going to say... Oh, it's so hard. I'm just trying to think
You had to be in New York. Betty Page.
I like it. Dina Merrill.
Oh, I love it.
You should have guessed this. It's Barbara Walters.
Oh, that does make sense.
That does.
I had a dream about Barbara Walters the other night.
She's going to die.
Oh, no. No, Barbara, stay with us. Stay with us, Barbara.
Oh, God.
All right. We are in the...
If something happens to her,
I know. I'm witchy like this. I'm psychic.
Poisoning people.
Bob Goldthwait, the great comedian,
Yeah.
years ago had a joke that said, I'm so self-obsessed as a child, I used to think it rained when I masturbated. So I passed that on to you.
Oh, God.
I don't even understand that. What
He's
does
so
that mean?
self-obsessed, he's so guilty, he thought when he masturbated, he was so guilty that it would rain. He thought that the weather changed because of what he did. And I just want you to hold up that mirror
So
to you.
who have you been talking about a lot this week? Are they going to pass? Is that what? If you're speaking about
I
it,
talked to my friend Christian. We had this long
Don't
conversation.
talk about her.
No, about Lee. Like we were telling stories and giggling for hours about her this week.
All
I
right.
just happened to.
I mentioned we had a lot of loss this week, and I want to move on.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Somber note to number 7.
Number 7.
Charo is alive and well.
what? I thought you were about to tell me something.
But
happened.
we love Charo. She's been on this show, one of our best shows. She has been on Drag Race several times. We did
Love
a
Boat.
music video with her in our basement, our downstairs studio where all the Wow Presents drag queen stuff done. Manolo, the bull,
yeah.
peed in the green screen. We had tragic news this week that her husband, Kjell, who we know very well, who was her love of her life for 40 years and her manager, and always had loving eyes on Charo whenever she was
such
here.
a nice guy too.
Yeah,
Such a
and
wonderful
handsome
guy.
and beautiful.
Yeah.
He passed away this week, and there is a statement from Charo saying yesterday, Shawn, my husband of 40 years and the love of my life, killed himself. There are no words to describe what we're feeling now. He was an amazing man, a great husband, the best father I could imagine to our son. He dedicated his life to loving and supporting his family. I guess he had some depression and some chronic disease, and that
And
along
chronic
with
pain. He
the
was-
medication he needed to take, it became too much for him, and he ended his suffering. And I don't know why this because Kjell, I'm not best friends with him, but we spend a lot. You always feel like you spend quality time with Charo and with Kjell, and she brings so much joy and energy
Yes.
and laughter that is infectious and to wherever she goes. And to think, none of us get out of this life unscathed.
But
Like, to
that would
have
be really depressing not to be able to keep up with Charo.
Well,
You know what I mean? That would be.
Yeah,
That would be.
He
in
kept
itself.
her tethered
grounded.
to this earth.
Yeah. I mean, she would be on the moon right now. If-
So we can enjoy all her beautiful and her colors.
yin
but
and
there
the
is
yang.
something to say about, I mean, if you chronic pain and it becomes debilitating over time, and if the medicine isn't working and there's depression.
Well, we were talking about our senior plans yesterday in the conference room, and this is our help. That's our. Yeah.
Well, no, I'm just going to be under a bridge. I'm just going to be living under a bridge come 60 years old, a couple years from now. It's I mean, old age isn't for sissies, as Betty Davis said.
And I don't, there's at the end of her statement is none of us had any idea this could happen to such a wonderful, kind, and generous man. Please, if anyone you know and love is suffering from depression or illness, hold them close. Tell them that you love them with all your heart and that the world is better because they are in it. Get any help you can, and suicide is not the answer.
And suicide prevention hotline is always there for you.
Yeah.
And, it's a shame because we love Charles so much, and she's always been a part of the World of Wonder family, and we just hate to see anyone in our family.
She's such
suffering.
a unique energy, and there's this again. I'm just getting this that she. Put out this on her official Instagram. Just, dear friends, I've been reading your comments, and I want to thank you with all my heart because they give me comfort and some peace. I love you all, and you mean more to me than I can put into words. Muchas gracias, besos. So let's get on the official Charo at Instagram and send her our love.
Yeah.
And rest in peace, Kjell. And wow, life can change in the blink of an eye, right? Okay. Let's move on to something much more light. Change of pace. Number 6.
Number 6.
Number 6. Oh my God! Here we go.
It's the emotions are flowing today. The emotions are flowing.
But I really wanted to sit and to give praise to. Oh, I spit on you. I'm sorry, darling.
I love when you spit on me.
I wanted to give praise to Shawn Mendes. I don't know if have you seen the ads that Calvin Klein.
You can pull them up for me.
I will.
Would you?
Keep talking.
Okay, Calvin
Klein. I would
Klein.
love to see those. I mean, I love Calvin's Kleins.
And Shawn Mendes is one of my favorite stars on the
Yes.
planet right now. He's got those arms. He's got those little
But
nipples.
Calvin Klein always finds the right on time hot boy to put in his underwear.
From Marky Mark on
Yes.
through the years, and this is one of his best campaigns ever, I think. Shawn Mendes, first of all, came out last week. We saw these ads with him. It's an underwear party, and the first picture is that, right? And then we have that looking cute, and then we have this one. It does sort of look like they. I'm sorry. It does sort of look like they might have tucked him a little bit.
He does look a little.
Yeah.
I have to say, you were on the Shawn Mendes train for a long time, so I bow to you.
Okay.
I mean, much like I've
you
been on the
didn't know.
Ariana Grande, who has the number 1, 2, 3 singles and the number 1 album in the country
It's true.
since the Beatles. And
But
I think Shawn Mendes, I think everything about him is gorgeous.
Yeah,
I think the worst thing about this is, forgive me, the underwear. I think it fits like a girdle.
It does.
It's not sexy.
It isn't.
It's boxer briefs with this big kind of round Ken doll making, and it doesn't matter if he's big or small because I don't care. I think he's.
I do think they put a
gorgeous.
cup in there, or they tuck, or they do something to. I think that they get
it
rid of the
nondescript.
lump.
But
yeah.
you don't have to have a big hoo-ha to look good in underwear, and I don't even know what size his hoo-ha is, but
Well,
it's
next
not
up is-
flattering.
So no, those are cute.
Next
the
up,
blue
though,
ones.
is Noah Centineo, and I just want you, who's from all the boys you've loved before.
Who is this?
He's an it boy, and he is just.
Wait a minute.
He is
See,
really wonderful.
He's gorgeous, and that underwear looks like a girdle.
Yeah,
It looks
but
like
there's
shapewear.
also ASAP Rocky did it too. I want if you go up a little bit, there's a movie that you can just see very.
This is
quickly.
good radio, let me tell
I
you.
know,
Now
I
we're
know.
gonna be watching videos here on the radio.
But wait,
it's good. Okay, they're eating. It's very like in a cheap motel.
And Kendall
And all
Jenner is
these
here too,
boys-
but it's all these boys just wandering around in their underwear playing
In the
together
hotel.
in the hotel room together.
Yeah, eating
and then,
cereal and stuff.
And then there's Kendall Jenner
And
there
then-
who ruins the gay fantasy.
Of course.
I'm sorry, but it's true.
I'm sorry, the girdle
a
underwear ruins the
Kardashian
gay
in them
fantasy.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I just wanted to give a shout out to our boy Calvin Klein for continuing the
Right?
yeah, 'cause
And
it's
it's-
nice to see.
It's a major breakout moment for Shawn Mendes, who
But
already is
the
breaking out
underwear really
everywhere.
isn't that cute. You're right.
Am I right? Thank you.
But what
okay.
are you probably like into some pig boy stuff though?
Oh, and now we're moving on to number 5.
Number 5.
And we're throwing it over to Blake, our millennial producer. Let's not forget Blake.
Hi. Well,
Hi.
speaking of Calvin Klein.
Yes. Did you leave the office? Did you go out and see something?
I did.
That's not right.
I did. On Monday night at Rockwell, I saw my friend Ryan Raftery and The Obsession of Calvin Klein.
And what is
Oh,
that?
What is that?
It is just like he does these parodies of people. Like his first one was
He did Martha Stewart.
He's
he
done
did Anna Winter first.
he did Anna Wintour, then he did Andy Cohen.
Yes.
Then he did Martha
Then
Stewart.
he did Martha Stewart, and this is his fourth one, Calvin Klein, and he puts on a show, and he kind of tells the story. It's a comedy.
Yeah.
He tells the story of the person.
So he is Calvin Klein.
Right.
It's
He-
like a
It's
one-man
a
show where he sort of gets in costume.
And
Right.
he does song parodies. He
Right.
sings and dances and does it. They're very funny and he's adorable.
That sounds great.
Yeah.
Are we all getting tickets to that?
Well, it's over now.
Oh, well, this is lovely.
It was his last show.
Was
but
it sold out?
It was.
Yeah, he's very popular.
It was. Yeah, it was really.
And what
fun.
was the high point? What was did you enjoy it?
Well, it was really good, actually. It was my favorite one he's done, and I really liked it. I think because I didn't know that much about like Calvin Klein's backstory.
Oh, but there's sort of a whole bunch with his competition with
Ralph
Donna
Lauren.
Karan and Ralph Lauren.
Well,
and
Donna Karan is like his little,
assistant.
yeah,
or,
yeah,
protege.
right, protege, and then Ralph Lauren is his competition. And my favorite, I think, what really stuck with me is at the very end they do a duet to Taylor Swift's "Look What You Made Me Do."
Who does? Calvin and
Calvin and Ralph Lauren. It was really funny. It was so goofy, but it was just really funny.
Is anyone wearing Calvins today? Just a show of hands.
Well, he actually said at the show, he was like,
No.
there are like 36 or 37% of the men in this room are probably wearing Calvin Kleins right now. And I was like, I am.
I didn't know people really still wore Calvin Klein underwear.
Shawn Mendes is wearing it. Kendall Jenner makes out with people wearing Calvin Klein
A$AP
underwear.
Rocky.
Yes.
ASAP, right? Yeah.
I also
yeah.
think it's very it's much more like straight boys wear it now a lot
I think
more.
so.
I think it's
think,
their
yeah.
like go-to at Macy's.
Yeah, and you can get them
They
at
feel
like,
they're buying a label.
yeah. You can get them at like Nordstrom Rack.
But do you remember how breakthrough Calvin Klein briefs were? Because they were cut like flat. Because up until that point, I always wore briefs, but I'd wear jockey briefs
or
or
Hanes,
Fruit of the Loom.
Fruit of the Loom,
and it
yeah.
was thick cotton, and it
nobody
didn't-
looked good in it.
Well, when you're kind of right. And then Calvin's came along, and you were like, I'm a sex symbol.
Well, do you know what
Because
made
it pushed everything up and sort of
had
pushed it all
sort of a
together.
Speedo cut.
Yeah.
the underwear actually made him a household name because it was mentioned in Back to the Future.
Well, wait a minute though, because there were the nothing comes between me and my Calvin.
Yes,
the
as-
jeans.
Yes,
the
but
jeans,
people
jeans
all
were
over the
first.
world saw Back to the Future and knew who Calvin Klein was
Don't
after seeing
mess
the movie.
I
with
think-
Blake on this one.
Okay.
I
He's
think
speaking
as many people
authoritatively.
saw the Calvin Klein pants jeans commercial too. That was
Oh,
really,
yeah.
really
huge.
It was huge, yeah.
Blake's our
With
millennial
what's her
producer,
face?
and he doesn't know of the
Brooke
70s.
Shields.
Brooke Shields. Nothing comes between me and my Calvin.
And then-
and she was like 12 years old, so it was even like
15,
even more
yeah.
pedophilia.
All right, Blake, research.
Because remember, I mean, you remember like the Jordache jeans craze and the Gloria Vanderbilt from Johnny and
Yes.
I mean, everybody
Sergio
has it. I mean-
Valentes, Cacharels.
I might even still have a pair of Calvin Klein pants.
Do you?
Do you?
That's
Maybe.
hot.
All right.
I wonder if does Jordache still even make jeans anymore? Are any of those still around?
I'm gonna have to go to Ross Dress for Less and find
I
out.
don't know. Yes, let's all
Well,
go together.
All right, going back to Ryan Raftery, he is on Facebook. He's on Instagram. You should follow him and find out what he'll be doing. What he'll be
And he's really
parodying.
cute.
He's
He's
cute
a-
and
just-
talented.
yes.
And again, and such a self-starter, self-produced, gets these things
Yeah.
up and going. Always writes us like promote my show. I love his
And it
his
ends up
entrepreneurism.
in the New York Times and
Yeah.
Vogue, and everybody follows
Yep.
these shows. I remember, and he ended up in a just very quickly, he ended up in an elevator with Anna Wintour at one time.
Gasp.
And she said, "You're the man who's been doing me," or something like that. "You're the man who's been impersonating me." And it was like the best moment.
And
of
then
his life.
Anna Wintour grabbed him by the neck and almost strangled him, but the doors
Throttled
opened.
him. Yeah.
Well, celebrity Jennifer Lewis was at the show.
Oh, wow, celebrity Jennifer Lewis, our first guest from All Stars this year. Love her. And the mother of Black Hollywood.
Yes.
All right. Guys, you need to set your DVRs for the premiere of RuPaul's Drag Race Season 11.
Season 11.
Thanks to people like our special guest here, Nicole Paige Brooke. We have a Season 11. Thank
Right.
you.
I'm
Thank
the only
you.
reason it got picked up for so many
Yeah,
more
there's a
seasons.
lot of reasons. And the
Those
new
casting
season,
people.
February 28th, it's moving to Thursdays, 9 p.m. And the reason to check out the very first episode on February 28th, Thursday, is to see our special guest judge, Miley Cyrus. Hey.
We know she's a fan. She had all of them on the
Yeah.
video music.
Yeah.
video.
Who is
loves
the
them.
judge on your elimination episode?
Dita Von Teese.
Was it?
Nothing wrong with that.
No,
Right?
not at all.
That's hot.
See, when people say that, it was different, Drag Race was different, it was a little different, but the bones were there, and the enthusiasm was there, and the love of drag and the art of drag was there. So.
That's a
And
hot
Kathy
one, though.
Griffin was the first episode.
Really?
That's right, Gone with the Window.
Yep.
They had to make. It was.
Yeah.
It was Gone
I
with the
love
Wind
Kathy
themed.
Griffin. She
Yeah.
was hysterical.
Yes. All right, we're gonna take a little break. Before we go, there is a trivia question. Blake, do us the honors, please.
No, I told you I learned a lot about Calvin Klein. So,
You sure did.
Calvin Klein's daughter, Marcy, is a producer for what television show?
I think I know. Don't say it.
Oh, I think I know too.
All right. The answer to that and so much more as we continue the countdown of the top 10 things that make us go
Wow.
here on the Wow Report, Radio Andy, SiriusXM.
You're listening to World of Wonders Wow Report.
Welcome back. You are listening to the Wow Report here on Radio Andy. We are in the midst of counting down the top 10 things that make us go, wow. I'm Tom Campbell here with James St. James. Our fearless leader, Fenton Bailey, is away for the week, and sitting in his seat and doing an amazing job is Nicole Paige Brooks from Atlanta,
Does that make
Georgia.
me the leader?
Yes.
Well, I haven't felt like very much of a leader because y'all been not. I don't know none of these topics.
No, you've been wonderful. You've been a dream.
Nice and silent over here. You've been perfect. You haven't said a word.
And of course, we are joined by Blake, our millennial producer.
Hi.
Blake, right before the break, you asked us a trivia question. Everyone said it was easy, and now we're doubting ourselves.
No, I don't think I know. I
Okay,
lied.
what do you think?
Calvin Klein's daughter, Marcy, is a producer for what television show?
My guess is Will and Grace, but that's not right.
Okay.
I'm going to say Saturday Night Live, but I also think that she had something to do with 30 Rock.
I think she works for Saturday Night Live, and
Yeah.
she works with closely with the producer,
Lauren.
Lauren Michaels.
Well, a funny thing, Marcy actually used to be a club kid back in the early 80s.
What's the answer?
The answer is Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
She's a talent
Okay.
producer.
Did you know her as a
I
club
did,
kid?
yeah. She was when she was like 16 years old. She used to sneak out and come to the tunnel every night and play with Michael Ehrlich and
Would
Michael
she dress
Shawn.
up, or would she come?
She no, but she was just part of the crowd of. There was a lot of little Upper East Side kids that would sneak out and come to the club, and she was one of them, and she was just adorable.
Stop talking about her before something horrible happens to her, okay?
Right.
We're counting down the top 10 things, and now we are at number 4.
Number 4.
And I want to introduce this into pop culture. It's kind of inspired by a conversation yesterday with Randy Barbado, our other fearless leader here at World of Wonder. And he says that drag queens are the new pop stars. And as we said, in this last week, All Stars 4 had an amazing season, and it ended with 2 queens winning, Monet Exchange and Trinity the Tuck. And they both dropped epic music videos that they have spent a lot of money on.
Yeah,
Well,
they
somebody
they
spent a
had
lot of money.
$100,000. They had $100,000 for almost a year, girl.
There you go. With taxes and stuff, that's like $10.
No.
It's like $10,000.
I guess they didn't get paid until just recently, right? I don't know how it works.
Well, yeah, soon. Checks in the mail.
Right.
Trust me,
I don't know
Nicole,
how
big
I don't know how the finale goes.
No, but
I wasn't there.
it's a very smart move to make, to capitalize on it as quickly
Oh,
as you
yeah.
can and to put your music out there.
I know, but you should spend most of that money on like the remix, girl, because not all of them can sing. I don't understand why they all have to be singing songs.
They get a lot of criticism, and Bianca Del Rio, if she were here, would tell you how awful they all are, and no one makes
They're-
music. But there's something fascinating. Like I look forward
Doesn't
to these.
Bianca even have a terrible song out?
I think she's the only one who doesn't. You and Bianca.
I
need to
think
do a
Bianca
duet.
has something terrible out there.
All right, we're gonna take a look. I think it might be a different kind of tape.
No.
But do you look forward to like Rihanna videos? This is Randy's premise. It's like you look forward to this. Now, Monet Exchange has unapologetically, it's a visual EP. What that sometimes means, unfortunately, is it takes a long time to set it up. There's a lot of credits at the end. But in the middle, she is Mary J. Blige. She is in like a convertible, like
DeLorean.
Maserati. Is it a DeLorean?
I think so, because
I don't speak lesbian. I don't know what kind of car.
And she is making out with guys, and she's in the club. It's like it's a serious
She went
R&B
through it.
dance thing,
Yeah,
right?
she's feeling her fantasy in
Yes.
that.
And then Trinity the Tuck has a song called "I Call Shade," and she plays most of it in this character that is later attributed as Eunice Frankenbooger. And
but she's sort of like an Irma Gerd girl. Right?
Yeah, she reminds me of Katy Perry in the
Irma
Last Friday Night video.
Right.
there you
There
go.
you go,
It
yeah.
pays a lot of homage to that. Peppermint's featured in a rap. Blair St. Clair, Thorgy, Fifi O'Hara. In Monet's, it's a bunch. Is Manila? lots of people, including Yua Hamasaki. And the other, not winner of All Stars 4, but who made a huge comeback in her career and in our consciousness, is Manila Luzon, who has a comedy album out with the single also dropped this week called Barbara, Can You Hear Me? Barbara, Can You Hear Me? Because she, of course, played Barbara Streisand on the Snatch Game of Love.
Yes.
And she does
And that was
homage
amazing.
visually to every look of Barbara's, every iconic look, including
Didn't she get a little some blowback for that? Didn't people say that she...
Oh, please. Hate is the new love. If I paid attention to
Really?
every
Did
hateful
they-
thing that people have said about Drag Race, the
What
show
did they hate
love,
It's
the
true.
gays. The gays come and attack our own.
It's a circular firing squad.
And
isn't
I
it?
was at Flaming Saddles, where I like to watch
I love that place.
Yes, it's 2 stories. It's huge. I watch every
There's
week because I love.
Cowboys.
Yes, the shirtless Cowboys. But they show All Stars, and I'm there incognito, no one knows who I am, and if they do, they don't care. And I can tell you, last Friday night for the finale of All Stars, it was, forgive me, it was a fire hazard. It was frighteningly crowded, but it's so exciting. The most beautiful men are there of every age. People are singing, dancing, laughing, screaming. There's people in their gym clothes are coming from the gym. It's like everyone comes together. So, anyway, I'm promoting my own show, but I'm always amazed by the community it creates. It's like sports too. It's like if the Patriots lose, everyone's angry at the other team. It's like the same thing happens with Drag Race, but it's all done in love, and it's all done.
But it is, because we do know how, I'm sorry to say, but how toxic some of the fandom has become over the past couple of years. And I do know that the girls are always saying, please just, you don't have to hate on the people that don't win.
It's kind of ridiculous.
There is. I mean, it's
Totally. It's a
but that's
But
an
you're
internet
right. It
thing
is like
right now.
it is like same as the sports team. You do have your favorite, and you do want the best for them.
Right.
But I mean, you can't be so offended, girl.
No, and RuPaul will say, and I think there's a lot of truth in this, that the people on Instagram saying those things is like a 7th grader with a strong Wi-Fi connection. It's like
Right.
people that don't know how to conduct themselves. Have you ever gone online and written something horrible about some TV show you just saw? Have you just been so deeply offended that you had to
Me? No. I have no
let's
opinion.
check the receipts. All right, let's move
I
on
have
quickly
no strong opinion.
before we get into trouble. James, let's move on to number 3.
Number 3.
Number 3, I have been watching a TV series called The Umbrella Academy on
Netflix.
I always watch Netflix. I'm a horrible Netflix whore. It was made by Gerard Way, who is the lead singer of
My Chemical Romance.
Yeah, who really cute little guy, and he's
It's written by him?
It was created and written by him. He's given up being a rock star
Wow.
and writes comic books now. And this is something called the Umbrella Academy. It's sort of an interesting premise. It's on October 1st, 1989, 49 women around the world spontaneously gave birth, despite the fact that they weren't pregnant earlier in the day. They gave these
hate when that happens.
Yeah. So 49 women around the world give virgin births, and all the kids have superpowers.
That's an awesome premise.
Okay, and there's a billionaire named Sir Reginald Hargreaves who decides that he's going to adopt as many of them as he can and raise them to become superheroes. And he gets 7 of them, and he calls them the Umbrella Academy. And each one of them has a different superpower. There's one who's like a spaceman, and there's one who's dead, and he has all these monsters in him, and there's a time traveler, and there's someone who can throw knives. They're all really cute. They're all there's Tom Hopper, who is one of them, and he's really fantastic. He plays the who's it called? Ellen Page, who we love.
Oh, Tom Hopper was Spider-Man, right?
No, that's Tom Hooper. Maybe it was Tom Hopper. I don't know. But he's hot. He's hot, and he has the body of a gorilla. He's got this really hot little body, and it's just really sexy.
Like, really has a body of a gorilla
Yeah.
through special effects?
No, yeah. And but it's,
I thought maybe that's a new type. It's bears, there's otters, and there's gorillas.
No. He really does have the body of a gorilla, and it's really sexy. It's really hot. Tom Hopper. There's Robert Sheehan, who he plays number 4. None of them get names because the Reginald Hargreaves is a terrible father, and he doesn't bother to name them. So it's just number 1, number 5, number 7, number 3, and so number 4 is Robert Sheehan, who was so wonderful on The Misfits. I don't know if any of you remember The Misfits. It was a British show.
Oh, yeah, sort of.
Yeah, he plays sort of a gender-fluid party boy drug addict, and he's really fabulous, and he's always falling down drunk, and he's always fucked up on drugs, and he can talk to the dead. And then Mary J. Blige is in it. We were just talking.
That's right.
Yeah, she plays Cha-Cha, one of the intergalactic police officers who are trying to bring them down, I think. I don't know. It's then there's a chimpanzee, a blue chimpanzee, who sort of runs the academy, and
I feel like I've fallen and hit my head, and I'm just hearing every other word. That's a lot of.
There's a lot going on.
There's a lot
Is
going
it Marvel
on.
Comics? What is it?
No,
Is
it isn't. It's Dark Horse
DC?
Comics, which is
Okay.
a different. It's its own.
It's a horse of a
imprint.
different color.
But it's fascinating, and everybody in it is really good, and the effects are fantastic, and it's just such a different premise. It takes a minute to catch on because you're in a whole different world, and it's a whole different dimension of nuttiness.
But you have more patience than I do for those things. You'll sit through the first one and get acclimated.
Or 6,000 Dark Shadows episodes.
No, but it's true. Well, but like I always say, that if there's a hot guy in there, that's what I hang my coat on, and I can watch. As long as there's someone for me to fall in love with, I'm there.
Easy. Are you a Netflix? Are you a binger, Nicole? Paige Brooks?
No, I'm still trying to catch up on Grace and Frankie.
Oh,
Yeah.
are you a huge Grace and Frankie fan?
I'm a pretty big one. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm getting caught up.
It's a good one. It is good.
Yeah, I mean, I saw Rue on there already.
Right. Is she fabulous? I haven't seen the season yet. Uh-huh.
I mean, she was.
She's Rue.
Yes.
She did. She.
Well, no, I mean, she I don't want to ruin it for people.
No, go ahead.
No one listens to us. They hear our voices and they turn the channel.
She's the real estate. She's the real estate agent for Grace and Frankie's place, and the people that bought it.
Okay.
So, but she's real
Rue
flamboyant.
serving
and
real to realness.
She's like trying to throw them out of the house, and it doesn't really go that way.
Well, she's on the billboards. She's
it's
they
really
put
cute.
it's like they've put Jane and Lily off to the side, and it's Rue.
I haven't seen that.
Yeah. Rue's on the Grace and Frankie billboards,
I love that.
and in all the ads.
All right. The Umbrella Academy, which we were talking about before, is streaming on Netflix, as is Grace and Frankie.
Starring Tom Hopper, not Tom Holland, who was Spider-Man.
Yeah. Well, Tom Hopper. I mean, he is just a star, man.
And we'll just fade off James's voice.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Now, James, number 2.
Number 2.
Karl Lagerfeld.
Lost a lot of people this week, including Karl Lagerfeld. Now, I know him because he's so visually,
Iconic. He's
iconic.
Yes.
He had his own look always.
Yes.
And he did that look for he held on to it. He wasn't changing with the times. He got his look early on in the 80s, and he with the white ponytail and the high collared shirts and all the silver crosses and the tuxedos. He was 85 years old. It's hard to praise him too highly because he was a cranky, racist, misogynist old fuck is what he was. He was an unbelievable talent, a once in a lifetime talent
Who stayed relevant until his death.
He kept Chanel young and fabulous and hip right up until 85.
That's amazing.
This last one, yeah. And he managed to reinvent Chanel. It was a stuffy, sort of matronly, old, high society, boxy little things. And he was the one who brought back the CC. Coco Chanel never used the CCs, the double Cs. He brought that in and made that iconic, along with it. But the fact of the matter is that he didn't like Muslims, even though they were a large percentage of the buyers of Chanel in the last 10, 15 years. He famously once said that he didn't like Pippa Middleton's face. He said that she should only show her back. Okay, he had a bunch of iconic, witty quotes that I just want to read a couple of them real quick. He said, "Sweatpants are a sign of defeat. You've lost control of your life, so you bought some sweatpants." Okay, which I love that. He says, "Trendy is the last stage before tacky."
I love that.
Yeah. He once said, "I am very much down to earth, just not this earth."
It's a good quote.
Yeah, and then
Wasn't his
Are you
cat
doing
kind
his
of-
voice?
I don't.
I'm like, why are you doing?
He's German, so he was German and French. So I was sort of like
So like a
putting
little Nazi.
a little Nazi in there. Yes, and he said, "I hate intellectual conversation with intellectuals because I only care about my opinion."
That's a good one.
I
like-
identify with him a lot.
And my favorite quote of his is he says that life is not a beauty contest. Some ugly people are great. What I hate is nasty, ugly people. The worst is ugly, short men. Women can be short, but for men it is impossible. It is something that they will not forgive in life. They are mean and they want to kill you. Which is sort of a...
I feel like Karl's still with us.
Right?
So
Why do
wonderful.
short men want to kill you?
I don't- because
Wasn't
they're
he really
angry.
short?
Maybe, but maybe
Karl?
that was projecting. Maybe he was. It was. I just feel that maybe he.
Short men can't kill
I
you.
think
They're
he was
short.
just a hateful snob.
He was, but I think that as he became more and the most important person in fashion, I think it's hard not to have your head turned when everybody in the world is kissing your ass. Every celebrity, every person, and so I think he was sort of a victim of his own success in that respect.
All right. Well, Karl Lagerfeld died Tuesday in Paris. He was 85 years old.
Yeah,
Another
just
one,
like
yeah.
Lee Radziwill.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Rest in perfection. All right.
85.
that's a long time.
That's a long time. That's 40 more years for me.
That's
That's
10 more for me.
I don't know. I'm like, do I want to do another 40?
I know it's a choice.
Start
Right.
designing. I
Right.
just want to remind everyone out there, $1 Million Listing Los Angeles is available to watch anytime on the Bravo app. It's also Thursdays on Bravo at 9 p.m. And stick around for Backyard Envy, also a World of Wonder production that follows MDL LA at 10 p.m. On Bravo. You can watch it on the app. You should DVR it. It's a great show. They both are. All right, we're going to take a quick break, and we come back. The number one thing that made us go, wow! All right, you're listening to the Wow Report on Radio Andy, SiriusXM.
You're listening to World of Wonders Wow Report. Things that make us go wow.
All right, we're back. This is the Wow Report. I'm Tom Campbell here with James St. James, Blake, our millennial producer, and our very, very special guest filling in for Fenton Bailey, Nicole Paige Brooks from where?
Atlanta, Georgia. Wow.
Nicole came in last minute, has been so great, so gracious, listening to James and I yammer on.
Actually, I was pretty early. Y'all came in kind of last minute.
I hate when you mention that. We're very excited. We've come down to the point in the program where we talk about the number one thing that made us go, wow, this week. And that topic is
Number 1.
the Jussie Smollett case. I don't want to talk about this, but I feel like we have to.
Do you think it's real?
I am beginning more and
motherfucker.
more. I'm beginning to believe that it was all a hoax that he set up to get more press for himself or something. But why, Jussie?
Girl, there is a camera everywhere. Do you really not think they're going to know that? And these people aren't going to go to jail for you. They're
Exactly.
going to rat you out, and you know they kept every text.
It's true. It's true. These Nigerian boys that he
Now
was
they're
friends
famous.
with.
Now
yeah.
they're famous.
Who are gorgeous.
Yeah, they are. And it's a shame because Jussie is gorgeous, and Jussie is somebody that we all loved and we all were rooting for. And he, has been on the cover of Out magazine.
But
and
now you're speaking in past tense.
It's true because I think that his career is over. I
Yeah,
don't see how you can come back from this.
There's
It's
no-
just weird.
I
and
wonder
wrong.
if there's like a
It's really-
psychological diagnosis.
And while you're going, and the society that we live in today is so terrible that we have to worry about these kind of things and da-da-da. And, bitch, you're the problem with society. Like, if you really are doing this is a hot mess.
Well, it's
What are you going through?
Because the thing is, it's always our first. We always want to believe victims when they come
Yeah.
forward. You always never want to. Never want to doubt them. You want to believe, give them the benefit of the doubt. And now, forever after, I have a feeling people are going to say, "Oh, you've been Jussied, you've been Smolletted," or something like that. When
Yeah.
that nobody, that it's going to become its own word when
own
when
verb.
you perpetrate a hoax. And I
It's
just
insane.
I don't know why he would do it. He had the world on a string. He was.
More will be revealed. I mean, I have to say, and I try not to spew hate except for toward Trump. And I don't even spew hate at Trump. I just feel like we have to protect our country. But when it came out and everyone was like, oh my God, it all sounded so like they were yelling MAGA. Like the details were so specific, and
What's
they felt
MAGA?
That make America great again.
The
That's
red hat.
the red hat that the
something.
Trump wears.
But it felt a little pat. It felt a little over-explained.
That they had put the noose
Noose,
and
the
the bleach,
bleach,
and
and
they
the
were wearing the
MAGA.
ski mask and the hat on top of the ski
Well,
mask.
and
which is-
usually wouldn't it be like the police would hold that information and not like you would find out later. Well, he was drenched.
He went on a
press tour.
Yeah, or his manager did or something, and he was on the phone with his manager. And we know managers kind of have to sell their soul to their clients.
People were saying, "Why were you out at 2 a.m. in a snowstorm during the polar vortex?" Well, but you and I know that.
And I eat 24/7, so he was going to Subway. I totally get that.
But I mean, he's a famous person. He could have been out clubbing. I mean, but people were very quick to pounce on the idiosyncratic facts of that things weren't adding
Well,
up.
obviously they were right, though.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's just terrible because, I mean, we already have enough issues where we're not believed. Or,
Yes.
if, especially in the trans community, they're always a trans prostitute. They're never just, a trans person,
Right. And
so they automatically look at
unfairly
you as
portrayed.
a criminal in some way, shape,
and it
form.
gives the Trump people, that now, because there are awful Trump people out there who are doing, horrible things, and now they can all say, well, we were right about Jussie, and so we aren't
But
bad.
I wonder if, again, not to excuse it, but like, is there some diagnosis? Is it like von München by proxy? Is there some?
You're trying to make him crazy because this is crazy.
Well, it is. It's a lot of bad decision making for sure.
Yeah.
And need for attention.
But if you remember when who was the Morton Downey Jr. thought that his ratings were slipping, and so he went in the bathroom and carved a swastika on his forehead and said that he was beaten by Nazis, and he did it just to keep, And I think Jussie might have thought that he was getting less work on the show and he needed to be out in the papers more. Something I don't know.
Who did that? Was that in relation to Robert Downey?
No, Morton Downey Jr. was a crazy talk show host,
like
in
a
the
Jerry
1980s.
Springer type that burnt out. It's upsetting, and there's no way around it. And there's more being revealed. And there was an original, an initial letter sent to him, a threatening letter, and with powder in it. Now they're wondering, was he responsible
him on video
for that?
mailing it to himself. Didn't that?
They do?
Isn't that what? That's what I was talking about. The cameras being everywhere.
Yeah.
I think they have a video of him mailing it to himself, and that's one felony charge is like
Oh,
tampering with the mail.
because it's the federal government.
Because
it's
they
the
were
post
saying
office.
that it could be 1 to 3 years in prison.
Yeah.
Just for that, they're gonna
People
get him for something.
use Postmates. Don't use the post office. Use Postmates, and it won't be a federal crime. I'm trying to add some lightness to a very dark subject.
Oh my goodness!
I know.
He's an idiot.
All right.
I mean, there's
It is a
he's
shame.
just gotta
Like
be-
I said, I really liked him, and I really thought that he was a great
How
spokesman
do
for.
you think you're gonna get
bad-
away with something like that?
I feel bad for victims of actual hate crimes.
Right.
That's what I'm
that's the
saying.
problem.
That
It's
now
like
they
you
will
just set
all
us
be saying
back.
people won't believe them, and
Right,
people
yeah.
will say, "Oh, you're just Smolletting us."
All right.
Right.
On that sad note,
Kill
let
him.
me just remind
Well,
you that
wow.
there is a light at the end of the tunnel, and it is RuPaul's Drag Con LA in 2019.
Nice
May
segue, darling.
24th, thank you, 25th and
24th,
26th.
yeah.
Tickets are now available. Go to RuPaulsDragCon.com to get all the details.
I'll see you there.
Will you be there?
Yeah.
Okay. We're with Nicole Paige Brooks. Thank you so much for coming all the way from Atlanta, Georgia, to be with us this morning.
Thanks for having me this
We
morning.
love you. Oh my God, you were hysterical. We love you.
Thanks. I had a good time. Wow.
All right. On behalf of Fenton, who's away, and all of us here, thanks for tuning in. And until next time, go out and do something that makes the world go.
Wow.
Bye.